Hey, welcome to Mama Mandala, where magic is somatic. I'm Hagar. Thank you for being here. You know, life is full of thresholds, of moments of transition, of big life events that are these gigantic crossroads where a huge fork in the road is where we're at, and we have to make a big decision. And it's also full of small moments where we have to make a choice and we have to move in this direction or the other. And everything we say yes to, there's infinite other pieces that we say no to. Every road that we decide to take is instead of a lot of other roads that we would have taken. And those roads in life sometimes converge, and life is cyclical. So we meet similar thresholds along the way. There are big life events that birth us into a new reality. There are births if we bring children into this world. We all face deaths, and there's a goddess in the Greek tradition, and she's actually a pre-Greek goddess because she comes from who knows where. There are so many stories of origin, so many ways and places that historians think that she comes from. And this is the goddess Hecate, who is the guide. She's a psychopomp, so she's able to move in and out of the world of the dead and guide souls into the underworld. And she's this transitional goddess standing in protection of a moment in a woman's life where she is given birth to a child. And so metaphorically, she is the power that stands with us when we give birth to something. It doesn't have to be a child, it can be a project, and it can be the small decisions that we make to change the course of our lives. And she stands at the threshold of death. She guides the soul of the dead toward the underworld. So she's also that which supports us in times when we sever ourselves from certain habits or relationships or career paths or whatever else we decide that we're no longer going to continue with, right? So it's this presence, it's this archetype, it's this energy that lives inside of us and also shows up around us as other people, as books along the way, as events. So an archetype is going to show up for us in all these different ways, but it lives inside of us, so it is something that we can invoke. And right now, so many of us are facing the intensity that the world is giving us, right? It is a lot. The world is in chaos. The world as we knew it is going through a process of decomposition and destruction. And so an archetype like Hecate is the invitation to stare in the cauldron of our being. She's the goddess of the witches. So to stare in the cauldron of our being, which is the womb and the tomb, the power that can help us walk through chaotic time, through time of transition. She's not going to solve the problems for us, right? We don't call upon the powers of nature to solve the problems for us. We call it to support us in the process of moving through something challenging. And so we do it collectively, we do it personally, we can do it with ritual, and we do it today on the mat with some poses and with our breath. So go ahead and place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your belly. I'm not mirroring you in case you were wondering. I'm going to place my hand actually a little lower. I like the lower belly for this, but you do you. Feel what is most supportive for you. And allow your eyes to soften as you bring your attention to your breath. Feel the way that the breath is moving through you. And the crossroads, the gap between every inhale and exhale. And between every exhale and inhale. And bring a little tone to the back of the throat so we start to breathe Ujjayi Pranayama. And the breath makes this resonant sound. Your eyes can close if you feel like this inner world is calling you. And pay extra attention to that gap between the breath that the yogis call the madhya, the midline. Every crossroads in our lives is a midline. Every transition place is a midline. A liminal space, a threshold, a place where we can make a decision to shift something, to drop something, to pick something up. Release your arms at the end of your next exhalation. And with a slow inhalation, stretch your arms all the way up. You can open your eyes if you'd like. And with an exhalation, join your hands and draw them through the front of your face to the front of your heart, to Anjali Mudra, to the gesture of the heart's deep offering. Release the arms and again, inhale and reach the arms all the way up. And the offering that we make is on the altar of our lives. Exhale, slowly bring your hands together to your heart, to that offering that you make to yourself and to something greater than yourselves, which is always the beginning of something. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And the end of another. Exhale, bring your hands together through the front of your face and to the front of your heart. Anjali Mudra, the gesture of the heart's deepest offering. Again, release the arms and inhale your arms all the way up. And this time with an exhalation, bend the knees, reach your hips back and your chest forward. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Inhale, extend your chest even more forward, your hips even further back. And keep your knees bent. With an exhalation, bring your fingertips to the ground. And if with your knees bent, having your fingertips on the floor is still too much for you, first and foremost, separate your feet a little bit wider. Then you can go ahead and bring a block to or a stool to put your hands on. You can even put your hands on a couch or on a chair. So support yourself as needed. Sometimes that's a crossroads, a decision to be more supportive of ourselves. Look forward with a slow inhalation. Keep your knees bent, hips back, chest forward. And exhale, slowly fold back in. So your belly rests on your thighs. If the flexibility is there, the chest goes toward the space between your legs. Inhale again, look forward, stretch your chest forward, your hips back. And exhale, slowly fold and bow deeply back in. And then one more time, inhale. Stretch your chest, look forward, hips back. Pay attention to the space between the breaths. Exhale, slowly fold back in. Ground through the legs, bend the knees a little bit more deeply and inhale. Circle the arms, hips back, chest forward, rise up. Support yourself with your hands at a wall if needed. Exhale, slowly bring your hands together in front of your heart. So if this is a lot for your lower back, you can always put your hands and walk them down and up the wall as needed. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up, or a chair or a table. Exhale, bend the knees, hips back, chest forward, fold forward, fingertips to the earth. Uttanasana. You can stretch your legs straight or straighter if you like now. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. Wait for that pause between the inhale and the exhale. And then with an exhalation, step your left foot back, bend your right knee, lunge, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog, and make sure that the inner edges of your hands, the midline, the center, is rooted deeply into. The center is the threshold, the edge is the crossroads. Inhale, bend the knees. Keep your hands rooted. They're going to want to lift up, so keep them really deeply anchored into the earth. Exhale, tips of the fingers rooted as your hips come down. Point your feet and lift your chest forward and up, cobra pose. Deep, slow inhale. Broaden through your collarbones and draw the heads of your arm bones back so the front of your shoulder moves towards the back plane of your body. And exhale, keep your hands rooted, up and back, downward facing dog. Right leg up, inhale. Spread your toes so the right leg is strong, up in the air. Bend the right knee and open up your right hip. Reach your leg back with an inhale. Keep your hands rooted. And exhale, step the foot forward. in between your hands. It may not land exactly where you want it, so move things around as needed. Ground through the legs and reach your arms up. Inhale, push down through the balls of both feet and bend deep into the front knee. Draw the front of your hip bones, the anterior superior iliac spine, that bony landmark in the front of your hips, toward each other on both sides, and draw the sides of the ribs toward the center, toward the belly, both sides. Lift and lengthen through the upper body as you ground into your feet. And with an exhalation, touch the floor and step your back foot forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, you can bend your knees if needed, if your lower back is hurting. Look forward. Exhale, step your right foot back. Press down into both of your feet and lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands and step up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Be in the space you're in and allow things to shift. Bend the knees with an inhale. Press your hands into the floor as you bring your knees to the ground. Exhale, lower your hips and lift your chest as you point your feet. Cobra pose. One thing leads to another. The crossroads in our lives are also on a continuum. So it's not always an abrupt, clear transition or a exhale to downward facing dog or a very obvious way that, okay, this ended and this now begins. It's on a continuum. Inhale the left leg up. So sometimes transition is a process. A lot of times. Bend the knee and open up the hip. Change is not always this abrupt death that severs us from something. Reach your leg back. Inhale. Exhale the foot forward in between your hands. So sometimes it's a process. One thing unfolds into the other. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. We think of the crossroads as something that's a little bit more abrupt, as that obvious place where, all right, you arrive at this place where you can't turn back and go back where you came from. You're only going to go forward, but which direction are you going to take? Stretch the arms all the way up as your legs are strong. The hips draw towards the center. The sides of the belly draw in. And exhale, touch the earth. Step the back foot forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale and look forward, halfway up. Exhale, slowly fall back in. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right shin, your lower leg. Keep the fingertips of your right hand on the floor and bend your right elbow. Draw the front of your hip bones towards each other and the sides of the belly toward the center as you turn your chest to the right and lift it a little bit more up towards the sky. Slow breath. Meet yourself where you are. The crossroads is a meeting place. It's a place where we can decide what we're going to incorporate into the next move. Untwist slowly with an inhale. And cross over to the other side. So the right hand is to the outside of your left shin. And turn your chest up to the sky. And I can feel my whole lower back wants to turn with me, twist with me to the left. But the lower back, particularly the lumbar spine, the lower vertebrae in your spine, that part of the spine doesn't like to twist very much. So stabilize this part by drawing the front of your hip bones towards each other, the sides of the ribs towards the center, and then turning the middle, in the middle back, more toward the left, because the thoracic spine loves to twist. So stabilize the lower, stabilize the sacrum, and turn and twist in the middle of your back. Untwist with an inhale. And exhale slowly to fold a little more deeply and release the crown of the head toward the floor. Inhale, look forward. Make the balls of your feet heavy. Exhale, step your left foot back. Now pull your legs towards each other so your legs are strong. And with an inhalation, Stretch your right leg straight or straighter and lift the sole of the right foot up off the floor. So the toes are up, the heel is down. Push the heel down. And if you're like, lady, you are crazy, my hamstrings don't do shit like that, that's totally fine. You can put your hands on blocks, you can put your hands on stools, you can even do, again, your hands on a couch, or on a chair, or on a table, still doing the same thing, right? You're still straightening or going towards straight. You might not go all the way straight, towards straight. Inhale deeply here. Push down with your fingertips into the floor and exhale, bend the right knee. Let's turn this into a movement just a couple of times. Stretch your legs straight with an inhale. Meet that pause between the inhale and the exhale. And then exhale, slowly bend the right knee. Stretch the spine long, reach back through your left heel. One more time. Inhale, stretch your right leg straight or straighter. Exhale, slowly bend the knee. Stretch long through your spine. Deep breath in. Exhale, step your back foot forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. Exhale, slowly step your right foot back. Check in with yourself. How are you doing? What's moving through you? What kind of thoughts are pulsing through you? What kind of feelings? Inhale, stretch your left leg straight or straighter. Push your fingertips down. So the legs are separate from each other, like they are in a lunge pose. They're not so close together. They're more separate. Don't worry, we're going to close together in just a moment. Slow breath. Front of the hip bones, ASISs towards each other, sides of the ribs towards the center. And with the next exhalation, bend deep into your left knee and stretch your spine long. And then with an inhale, stretch your left leg straight and fold over the left leg. Exhale, slowly bend the left knee and purposely increase that gap between exhale and inhale. And then inhale and stretch your leg straight and breathe slowly in. And after the pause, exhale, bend deep into your left knee and elongate your spine. Deep, slow inhale here. Exhale, step your back foot forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Hold the backs of your legs, your heels, and pull yourself in. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot a third of the way back for Parsvottanasana. So your left heel is going to turn down to the floor and your toes are not facing all the way forward and they're not turning all the way out like in Warrior 2. They're going to go a little more forward than not, but not all the way forward. And it's not a tight beam. It can be. Some people teach it that way. I prefer it if you go as wide as your hips because it's healthier for your hips in general. Elongate your spine. Inhale, look forward. And you already know you can put your hands on blocks or on a stool or on a chair or on a couch. Push down into the ball of your right foot and help your left heel ground. Elongate your spine and then bring your left hand outside of your right foot and stretch your right arm up to the sky. And if that's too much for you, again, don't twist. Yes, twist, but don't put the hand on the outside of the leg. Put it on the inside. So the twist is not as intense. The front of the hip bones draw towards each other, sides of the ribs to the center, and the chest, the sternum turns up to the sky. Inhale and twist. Put your hand on the floor. And exhale, step the back foot forward into Uttanasana, forward bend. The crossroads is an invitation to slow down. It's a pause. It's a space between things. Inhale, look forward, which is so not celebrated in the world, right? Exhale, step your right foot a third of the way back. And again, not on a tight beam, a little bit more out to the side. Toes of the right foot are facing not all the way forward, but not all the way out. Not all the way forward, not all the way out. Not exactly in the middle, they're more forward. Press down into the ball of your left foot and root into the right heel. Inhale, extend long through the spine, hips back, chest forward. Front of both hip bones, pull towards each other, sides of the ribs, pull toward the center. Right hand outside of your left foot if that's available for you, and left arm up to the sky. Support yourself as needed and breathe slowly. Crown of the head away from your tailbone. Tailbone, hips away from the crown of the head. So you're elongating your spine in both directions. Inhale slowly, untwist. Exhale, step your back foot forward into Uttanasana, forward bend. Hold your elbows with your hands and allow your spine to elongate, the torso to get heavy. If you need to bend your knees, that feels really good. Even if you don't need to, maybe bend your knees a little bit and let your belly rest on your thighs. If the flexibility is there, you might ask yourself, what the hell is she talking about? So meet yourself where you are, the meeting place at the threshold. Mythically, that's where magic happens. Go ahead and sit down. So that is the place in so many stories, so much folklore. Places, the crossroad as that place where magic happens. And sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's where the shift happens, for the worse or for the better. Stretch your right leg forward. I'll mirror you. Bend the left knee. Push the toenails of your left foot down and draw your left knee back. If, when you're sitting like this, you're rounding your back and it feels really too much on your hamstrings, put a blanket, put a pillow, put something underneath your hips so that your hips are more elevated. And then your lower back will be a little safer. Your hamstrings are going to be less angry. Tilt your pubic bone toward the floor and lift and lengthen through your upper body. So pubic bone toward the floor and lift your navel up. Draw the front of both hip bones towards each other. Draw the sides of the ribs toward the center, toward the middle of your belly, and turn your chest to the right. Now you'll notice that the right side of the belly wants to turn with you, so resist it. It's almost like you're creating a crossroad, right? You're turning the right side of the belly to the left and the right side of the chest to the right. And so that squeeze creates the depth of the twist rather than this form that twists your lumbar spine and tweaks your sacrum, right? So take good care of yourself. Stabilize and twist in the middle and upper back. So I brought my hand, my left hand, to the outside of the right foot. I pull on the foot and I turn and I fold in. If this is not something that your body is doing, you can stay seated and work on lengthening your spine and twisting the sternum to the right as the right side of the belly turns more to the left. And we can let that movement of our body parts in two opposite directions become this place where we're meeting different parts of ourselves. And again, the mythic place of the crossroads is where we meet some shadows, some shadowy characters, some difficult situations, big choices that we have to make. So it's not always going to be an easy, yummy, beautiful experience. But is it nourishing? Is it nurturing? Is it giving you, is it providing you with a space for insights to emerge? When it does, that's the presence of Hecate. Inhale, stretch your chest forward. Slowly come all the way up. And then exhale, slowly stretch your left leg, forward. Move your hips a little side to side. Keep your left leg extended forward, bend the right knee. Place the toenails of the right foot into the floor. You can move your hips a little bit side to side to broaden your pelvis. Keep the back of your left leg grounding into the floor. Slow breath. Front of your hip bones draw towards each other. Sides of the ribs draw to the middle. Lengthen your spine. Tilt your pubic bone toward the floor. Crown of the head to the sky. And then with the left side of your belly, twist to the right as the sternum twists to the left. So again, there's resistance. There's a squeezing. There's friction. But that creates the possibility of growth. Slow breath. And you can fold over your leg, or you can stay seated. Wherever your growth edge is. Sometimes, for some of us, growing up under the brutality of capitalism and the patriarchy, our growth edge is in backing up. Does that make sense? Sometimes we need to actually back up and listen deeply and do a little less. For some of us, if you're of a younger generation and you're growing up with parents that have given you so much of that space, and with nurturing teachers that have given you so much of the space, that might be, the growth edge might be taking yourself a little deeper, not harming ourselves, but going to the place where there's discomfort, but also the vine is stressed enough so that it can grow. Okay, we need enough challenge in order to grow. We just don't want so much challenge that we harden, rigidify, or break. Slow breath. And all of that, the awareness of what's most needed, of where we are, of what we need to work on. That is the pause of that middle section, that space between the breath. The crossroads. What do I need? That's when a new pathway opens up. Stretch your chest forward. Inhale, ground through the hips and come all the way up slowly. Elongate your spine. And then stretch both legs forward. Press the backs of your legs to the floor. Flex your feet. Move the hips a little side to side. And we're going to do Paschimottanasana. Lengthen the spine. Inhale deeply. Crown of the head towards the sky. Pubic bone tilts towards the earth. And then exhale. Send your sternum toward your feet. Hold your feet with your hands and pull yourself in. And if you're, again, feeling like, no way, that is totally valid, yo. No problem. Put your hands by the sides, lift and lengthen through your spine. Just sitting here on a pillow or on some blankets and working on lengthening your spine and the backs of your legs rooting into the floor might be all that you need. So listen to what your body is saying. And allow the guidance of the voice of wisdom to arise. That's Hecate. It's not going to always say what's most comfortable. Don't only listen to the voice that says that whatever you want is what's needed. You already know that. You don't need me to tell you that, but some other people might. We live in a world right now where we might need that reminder. We might need a reminder that being triggered is how we grow. That's what art does. Art triggers you. Art is not here for you to feel all comfy and beautiful only. Sometimes, yes, but also uncomfortable. Thinking, processing, feeling. That's how we learn. Triggering is how we learn and how we grow and how art works. I feel kind of passionate about it. Inhale, extend your chest forward. I was almost going to say sorry, but I met myself in that crossroads. I don't need to apologize for it, right? Sometimes we feel like we need to apologize for something. Go ahead and take a seat. When really, we don't always need to. And sometimes we have to pause and go, do I need to apologize for this? Did I do something that needs my tending to because I was insensitive towards somebody? Ooh, I find that all the time. So both end. Both end. Do I really need to apologize? Oh, do I need to apologize? Both. Question. That's the crossroads. Sit with your hands on your knees or on your thighs. You can put your index and thumb together for chin mudra and allow the eyes to soften. Still breathing, ujjayi breath. And for a few moments, find the space between your inhale and your exhale, and then allow the breath to release and flow out. And then hear and notice, listen for the space between the exhale and the inhale, and then invite the breath to flow back in very slowly. In the yoga tradition, the space between the breaths is one of the most sacred places, most sacred liminal thresholds that connects the individual with the universe. The yogis say that the madhya, the midline, that space between inhale and exhale, is where the infinite opens its arms and receives you. And we can play around with the movement of the breath being the process of individuation, of personification, and then the pauses to be the reconnecting, to reclaiming, regathering in the infinite, in the vastness, and then moving again to find yourself, to define your boundaries, and then let them dissolve so that a redefinition can happen. And when you're ready, allow the tone in the back of the throat to release so that the breath is now breathing you. Less effort. And you can feel how that crossroads, it takes time for your system to adjust, to shift from ujjayi breath to natural breath. And sit with yourself in this space. And notice what's arising, what's circulating through your system. You might have some judgment over it, and you can give yourself space to observe and be with your judgment without forcing it to go away, just noticing it, being with whatever it is that comes your way. And then deciding, as you carry on, what needs to be left at this crossroads, and what are you picking up to to take with you into the rest of the day. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, in the gesture of the heart's deepest offering. Gather yourself there in that center, in that space between the hands. And very softly bow to yourself, to your willingness to be in it, in the discomfort of it, in the beauty of it, in the nourishment, in the challenge. I am so grateful that you joined me at the crossroads today. Thank you so, so much. And if you liked it, if this was valuable for you, please put a like on this video. Apparently, there are forces outside my house right now that are loving it because they're beeping with excitement. So put a like on it, share it with your people, subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed already. I wrote an essay about Hecate and the crossroads, believe it or not. It's on my website, mamamandala.com. I'm going to leave a link for you in the description of the video. And subscribe to my Substack, which is where Muse Medicine pours every Monday. I love it so much. You're gonna love it too. What are you waiting for? I'll leave a link for you in the description of the video as well. And I also created a free ritual guide for the secular soul. It's this beautiful, long, and deep way. It's 36 pages to learn how to create rituals on your own with different aspects. It's a great base tool for your toolbox as a spiritual practitioner, as a witch. So I'll leave that for you too in the description of the video, and totally free. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.